Hi, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about impostor syndrome. Not gonna lie, it took me a few years to realize and accept that I suffer from impostor syndrome. Initially, I thought it was me, my life, how I was. Fortunately, I became fascinated by mental health when I did a career change back in 2019. Mental health is undervalued by many relatives and friends that I got. But thanks to social media, I became more and more knowledgeable about. Nowadays, I like to share my knowledge and talk about it in my day-to-day. Impostor syndrome is not new, but it's one of those syndromes that is not recognized by many people. For me, impostor syndrome is the inability to recognize that you are great, you are worth it, you're doing a good job, and overall, you're a good human being. I am one of the chosen ones. I suffer from impostor syndrome. I remember back in 2019 when in my previous company, a UK-based charity, I was running a workshop. The workshop was about ways of working within a new team that was coming up and being shaped. One of the exercises that we went through was the user manual. In a nutshell, a user manual is a tool that is used to get to know your colleagues by asking them to tell me about 8 areas of their lives. The user manual areas are, among others, the things I struggle with, how I would like to receive feedback, the conditions I like to work at. The user manual was created by a designer based in London called Cassie Robinson. I will leave her blog and the user manual in the comments below. Coming back to the workshop, one of the attendees to this workshop, that was Sharon, she started going through her user manual and went through the area of things that she struggled with. She said that she struggled with impostor syndrome. I felt like everybody in the room knew what impostor syndrome was, so I continued running the workshop. I really didn't know what impostor syndrome was at the time. Quickly after the workshop finished, I went online and started researching about impostor syndrome. I admit, I end up in a rabbit hole. You know, these endless searches that you do and you never finish. I was watching YouTube videos and watch a lot of media content. It fascinated me and I felt I discovered something that also affected me. Instantaneously, I felt I loved what Sharon did during the workshop. She was able to be vulnerable in front of new people and in a job setting. I became aware I also was suffering from impostor syndrome. I have a voice in the back of my mind that was ready to tell me if I have to run a workshop, how unprepared I was for that workshop, and I was the worst facilitator ever. If I have to do a presentation, how I was not able to really give it, to trust in myself, to go and talk. Through the years, I was able to gather 10 things that I do to stop the toxic spiral that impostor syndrome leads you to. I tell you, impostor syndrome is a well-refined bitch that will find the place and the time to come and fuck you up. Let's dive into the 10 things that I use against impostor syndrome. Number 1, I practice exercise. I used to hate exercise. I used to hate people that went to the gym. I used to hate people that will actually love to move their body. During lockdown, I had a personal trainer for 6 months and actually I lost quite a lot of weight, 13 kilos. Yes, 13. Not only I lost weight, I changed my perception about exercise. I loved the feeling I was left with after the session. I loved the setup. I loved the mindset that I was set up with after. I loved this mindset that I went home with. Now, I value exercise. After a workout, I feel relaxed. I feel I can conquer the world. I can achieve my goals. I'm sure impostor syndrome doesn't like this, but I decide to look at my life positively. and to really make the most of this energy I get from exercise. Be open about it. Earlier I shared with you the story of Sharon, how she impressed me, how I love what she did. I am now a Sharon. I have taken ownership of imposter syndrome and I talk about it anytime that I can. As I said, many relatives and friends didn't know about it. They usually end up asking, what is that? How do you battle it? What do you mean by it? Overall, the response that I get is very positive. People are very engaged and they're curious about what imposter syndrome is. Also, I feel very liberated. I feel very happy I'm able to feel and to be vulnerable with other people and tell them what I have. Break the circle. When I talk about break the circle, I talk about the situation when you are hung up on toxic thoughts that are feeding your imposter syndrome. You need to break the circle, you need to break the situation. Go for a walk, go for a coffee, do something. When I talk about breaking the cycle, is talking about the situation where you're hung on a toxic belief, a toxic thought, or many of them, that are feeding your imposter syndrome. Really break that cycle and consciously break it. Download your mental shit. Shit is generated in your brain. It stays there. You look at it with different angles, but it never leaves. Take it as a sample, it's the same with the rubbish in your house. If you don't take it out to the container, it will never leave the house. So what I do, as I could loop around shit in my brain, I write, I put it down, I download it into notebooks. I have so many notebooks with a lot of shit. I particularly find it very useful in the morning, doing morning pages. So I do 3 pages of shit. Shit could appear at any moment of the day. So I take my notebook and I start writing down what I'm thinking without absolutely looking at how I'm writing it, just pouring it down somewhere. Download your shit, you will feel humongously better. Note down what you have achieved during the day. You need to live each day with a good taste. You need to live in a positive note. There were positive things that happened during the day, but maybe something went wrong and you just focus on the negative of the day. If you are able to reflect on your day, you will always find positive things, especially if you reflect on a day with the lens of something positive happening. This will help you with imposter syndrome. Be aware of worrying thoughts coming your way. In my own personal experience, during this summer, I realized that I had a lot of worrying thoughts coming my way. They will come usually early in the morning. They will wake me up from bed. This was getting too much. During summer, I also start CBT. During the sessions, the therapist shared with me a technique that has helped me to stop my worrying thoughts. In this case, the technique is calling the worrying thoughts by the name. Call it Peter, call it James. So every time that you have a worrying thought, actually call my thoughts, my worrying thoughts, Peter. This helped me to be very aware that it's a worrying thought and it's something that I want to continue feeding and I don't want to continue thinking. By calling it Peter, I'm able to focus on the name, I'm not on the thought. And the most important thing, I'm able to go back to sleep. Happy girl here. Do something you enjoy, also known as reward yourself with something that you like. You need to be your best cheerleader. You like yourself for being yourself. Find a mirror, repeat it out loud. How do you feel? Do something you like, have a chat with a friend, listen to the music that you like, have a little dance. Boost your mood in whatever way you want, but boost it. You deserve doing things you like. Scheduling your day. Scheduling might not sound appealing, but by doing it, by knowing what activities I got to go through the next day, it helps me to keep focus, so leaving very little time to imposter syndrome to kick in. Achieving goals is also something that makes me happy. So if I have a presentation to do tomorrow and by the end of the day I deliver it, that boosts my mood. That makes me feel happier, keeping imposter syndrome away. Practice daily affirmations. It's crucial, it's a must, it's mandatory. Telling yourself how you love yourself, how good you are doing is so powerful. Write down these affirmations and put them up in a place where you might not miss it. In my case, I use the mirror that I have in my room. I wake up and after meditation, I go to the mirror, look at myself and start repeating out loud my affirmations. I purposely look at myself and tell myself these affirmations. Finally, I do a high five exercise, which is from Mel Robbins. The high five, as simple as it sounds, doing a high five with myself in the mirror. Join a community, also known as a support network. Find the community that you resonate with and you can be yourself. I love dancing and I have found in twerking a community of fearless women that they come together to dance, to twerk, to empower themselves and to cheer each other. After the classes, I'm left with my mood through the roof. I feel so empowered and so ready to conquer the world. That is fascinating. There is something magical in dancing surrounded by women that cheer you and allow you to be yourself on the dance floor. Those are the 10 things I do against imposter syndrome. What about you? What things do you do to battle your imposter syndrome? Leave it in the comments below. See you in the next video. Don't forget to like or to subscribe for more. That really helps support this channel. Bye now.